If you're watching this right now, we need your help. Yeah, you. As you know, we release the YouTube version of the show every week, every Sunday night. And while we do appreciate the support you guys have given us, we do have a slight problem. And the problem is that we're not getting enough likes on our videos. We got videos that have hundreds of views and only a handful of likes. We got videos that have thousands of views and only a handful of likes. So we're asking you to hit the like button right now before you even watch the video. Why is that? Because YouTube has algorithms, and those algorithms have rules to where it says if a video is not getting enough likes, they bury it. They don't recommend it to other people, and other people cannot find out about the most infamous podcast on planet Earth, Super Duty Tough Work. That, my friends, is why liking videos is so important. Please just hit the like button. We don't ask much of you all, and liking the video is totally free. It goes a long way to ensure that me and Illogic can continue to make content like this. So if you haven't done it yet, hit the like button. If you've done it already, thank you. On with the show. Super Duty Tough Work.
What up?
Good morning edition.
Yeah, we here.
Bright and early.
Yeah.
Rap life.
I got a hoodie on today.
Repping the squid eye.
Yeah, and it's chilly outside. It's hoodie weather.
Man, that shit happened in just a week.
Yeah.
It was all good just a week ago.
Man, it's Columbus, man.
It's been like cool nights.
It's Columbus, bro.
Cool mornings.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this morning, like, brr.
Like by 3 o'clock, it's going to be like 90 degrees.
Yeah. But the mornings are crazy.
Yeah, nice and crispy.
Yeah, I'm like, why is it so cool? You know, but the fall is here. The fall is here. The summer, it's like this is the longest but the shortest year in my life.
Right. Like, I don't remember summer.
Me neither.
Yeah, it's like summer didn't happen. It's like we went from spring to fall.
but every day's been kind of the same since March.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, this whole year is trippy, man. It's like,
yeah, it's wild.
It's like there's not much variation in this year, yet it's flying by.
Yeah. Like between this and recording beats and B-sides, like those are the highlights of my week. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like
it.
I get to do different things.
Yeah.
Other than just work and hang with my family at home.
Yeah, that same thing here. Like if I don't do this, I don't know what day it is. what month is it again?
Right. What time? What?
Oh, the podcast. Oh, that means it's at least Thursday.
Right.
You know.
Right.
I get lost in this shit, man. Yeah, so we here. Super Duty Tough Work, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you've been on Twitter, you know that there's been an epic Kanye West rant this week.
Mm-hmm.
He was tweeting so much that they had to shut him down for 12 hours.
Yeah.
So you know, but he was tweeting about his contract situation and other artist contract situations. And you know, a lot of people were weighing in. He posted his whole contract.
Let me tell you about the snakes, the fakes, the lies, the highs.
All these industry things, man.
Yeah.
You know, so industry rule number 4008.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, and he was bringing light to some shit, and he took a very unorthodox approach to it. But, you know, we want to talk about that this week, but we want to talk about really what this shit is about. And this is what artists kind of choose. They choose the route of fame. Mm-hmm. Or they choose the route of ownership. Mm-hmm. Kanye is having a public conversation with people about the lack of ownership as it relates to artist creations. And, you know, this is something that every artist has to make a decision on. And so we want to talk about that in this episode. And we want to talk about, you know, Kanye West and how he is, you know, where he started and where he ended. And we're going to talk a little bit about artists who went the opposite way. And what the difference is and why people make these decisions, because, you know, everybody got a decision to make. Yeah. And the decision you make now will, you know, determine some things down the line that you may or may not be thinking about. Yeah. And so we'll take a break and we'll be right back.
Right.
We got you stuck off the realness, the most infamous, you heard of us. Official podcast murderers, the show comes equipped with viewpoints to share. Grown man ideas for all those who care and want to grow, so go ahead and download. Every single week with a brand new episode. You're not alone in this world, cousin, so we share information and honest discussion and keep repping a culture like we supposed to. They spread gossip, but they never come close to. I can hear it inside their tone. They talk about the industry but never left their home. You get laced up with bullet points and such, plus empowering topics that they never would touch. You can put your whole network against a team, But Super Duty Tough Work's the MVP. Most valuable podcast on MP3. Priceless info, but all of it's free. So take these words home and think them through. Super Duty Tough Work is coming at you. You are now listening to Super Duty Tough Work with your host, Blueprint. Raw and uncut. Adult conversations. No shucking, no jiving, and no bullshit.
All right, guys, we back. Fame versus ownership.
Word.
So before we get started, for those at home who missed it and don't be on Twitter that much, I'm gonna read some of these tweets from Kanye West so y'all can kind of see where he was going with it first. And let me start, and I'm just gonna read the ones that kind of pertain to this situation. So one of his tweets says, "I have the utmost respect for all brothers. We need to link and respect each other. No more dissing each other on labels we don't own." He says, "I'm not industry, bro. I don't care. I'm in service of Christ. We need the world healing. I miss my brothers. I refuse to argue with black men on labels we don't own, even Twitter." And then he says, Phil Knight's net worth is 40 billion. Michael Jordan's net worth is 1.6 billion. And Phil Knight never had to jump from the free throw line. When you Google Phil, you barely even see his face. Let's talk about it.
Hey, man, it's real.
He said, "I need to see everybody's contracts at Universal and Sony. I'm not going to watch my people be enslaved. I'm putting my life on the line for my people. The music industry and the NBA are modern day slave ships. I'm the new Moses." Okay, Kanye. Yeah, he's such a character.
Like, he does so well, and then he hits you with something like, yeah, he's still crazy.
Yeah, you're a little over the top, my man. Little
Calm it down a little bit,
yeah,
bro.
Yeah, really back.
Right, just a little bit.
Yeah, I feel where you're going with
Right, I was with you, and then Moses, and then it's like,
way out the window
right.
with that. You just hopped out the top floor window with that.
Man.
You know, but then he gets into some stuff that is important. He says, "Contracts in all industries need to be simplified now. Complicated contracts are how businesses, music companies, and sports take advantage of talent. We will expose these contracts and make them transparent now. Support new talent, startups, and amend all old contracts." The Y Combinator started companies like Dropbox and Airbnb. For the first time, it cleaned up contracts and made venture capital transparent. It empowered startups with the tools to succeed and grow their businesses. It changed the Silicon Valley game. When I spoke to Katie Jacobs, who was on board of Vivendi, we decided to create a Y Combinator for the music industry so artists have the power and transparency to be in control of our future. No more shady contracts. No more lifelong deals. I like that. Now he's cooking a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Without
saying some things.
Without the Moses talk.
Right.
The artists deserve our own masters. Artists are starving without tours. I'm gonna go get our masters for all artists. Pray for me. Hold on, let me skip that. So he's talking about getting Kendrick and J. Cole and all these guys involved. In the streaming world, master ownership is everything. That is the bulk of income. In COVID, artists need our masters. It's more important than ever before. I got J. Cole number waiting for Kendrick and Drake. And he posts this meme, says this is how it be when artists try to get our masters. The stairs be covered with lotion. That was funny. He posted this meme. These dudes trying to walk upstairs
Covered in lotion.
Yeah, they can't make it because they slide down because fools is
Yeah.
pouring shit on the stairs to trip them. He says, when you sign a music deal, you sign away your rights. Without the masters, you can't do anything with your own music. Someone else controls where it's played and when it's played. Artists have nothing except fame, touring, and merch.
If that.
Yeah.
If you don't sign a 360, you got merch.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like even the merch game they didn't tap into that.
Even the touring game.
And the touring, yeah. Because the 360, they got all of it.
Hands and everything, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm going to stop there. We could keep going. There's like another 20 of these. But I wanted to put these out first just so we could see what Kanye is pointing out. And what Kanye is talking about is how for major label artists at a minimum, and you know, independent labels too, you know, we have to deal with this issue. The way that the game is set up for the labels to own the actual product into perpetuity.
Yeah.
And so you can make a dope record, and the standard deal is one in which that label owns the rights to the music forever. It's not like you're licensing it to them. It's not like you get it back after you recoup, or you're not truly in business with them. They basically buy the rights to exploit that music forever. And there's a trade-off because, as Kanye tweeted, he said, all we got is fame, touring, and merch. And like you pointed out, the truth of the matter is that maybe 10 years ago, the music industry decided then that they didn't want to let artists have all of their merch and all of their touring anymore. And they created what was called 360 deals, which means that the label now puts their hands into
everything that you do.
Everything you do. Oh, you got a acting gig? Yeah. We want 10% of that.
Yeah, we get a piece.
Yeah. Oh,
you doing a commercial?
Yep. We need 10% of that.
Yep.
Oh, you got a book deal? 10% of that, maybe 20% of that, because they're looking at it now like we've invested all this money in you, and the physical part, and this was all predicated upon the physical product not being bought anymore.
Right.
They said, well, CDs aren't selling. This was before streaming took off.
Yeah.
We want to start renegotiating all these artist deals, and now all these artists, but now vinyl's coming back.
Right.
Streaming is now making more money than anything else. But they got these artists to start signing these deals where the artists gave away more rights.
Yeah.
And now you have a situation where the artists are now saying, well, fuck, what do we have left?
Yeah.
It's a trade-off. And if you look at why Kanye is doing this, I think it's because Kanye was basically just an artist at one point.
Yep. That's all he wanted to be.
That's all he wanted to be. He was a producer. He never was an owner at any point of anything he did.
And didn't even think about that part of it.
Nope.
He wanted to rap. He wanted to produce. He wanted to be famous.
Yep.
He didn't understand that at some point you're going to want to own this shit.
Yes.
Like at some point you're going to want to be able to, I want to repress Graduation.
Yes.
I want to, you know what I'm saying? I want to do this. I want to do that. But you can't because you don't own this shit.
Yeah. He probably can't even remix his own songs.
Oh, come on, bro.
Without their permission.
Yeah. Without asking somebody, can I get my vocals?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Can I get them stems?
Yeah. It sounds crazy just saying.
That's wild.
Like,
that's some wild shit.
Like, no, you can't. You need permission.
Yeah. No, you can't.
Yeah, it's deep because if you follow his career, and it really kind of hit me this week. He was talking that because I write about Kanye in the book, and one of the things that defined him, like you're talking about, was he just wanted to be the best artist.
Yeah, and whatever it took, and he made a decision, which is a decision that all artists, all creative people are gonna have to eventually make, and that decision is what's more important to you, fame or ownership. And the reason Kanye is having this conundrum now is because he chose fame. Yeah.
And when you choose fame, there are sacrifices you make that you might not even be realizing until later down the line.
Yeah.
Kanye's transition kind of came through his experiences in the fashion industry. So prior to being in the fashion industry, you remember Kanye was like, shit, he tried the fashion industry. He failed. He was very public about it. Like, yo, they closed me out. They wouldn't let me in. It cost too much money. He's screaming on Sway. How, Sway? You don't know how to do this, You
don't got the answers,
You got the answers, Sway. You remember like the famous, that meltdown was about him going all in on fashion and being shut out because the players there didn't want to let him, you know what I'm saying, play. They didn't want to give him the same prices they was getting. He felt like, yo, I'm getting shut out of this game and it's not fair. He was trying to go into it then, failed, lost a lot of money. Years later, some people remember Kanye was talking about how he had lost like 20 or 40 million. He's like, I'm 20 or 40 million in debt. And I remember it was a running debt because a running joke on Twitter because Cass was like, this dude is 20 million in debt and this girl still ain't leaving. That's a good woman right there. Yeah. It was like she still got his back. That she ain't go nowhere. But Kanye turned the corner when he started fucking with the shoes. When he did the shoe deal based on, first he had to deal with was it Nike first?
It was Nike first.
And
then went to Adidas.
Yeah, so his Nike deal expired. He didn't renew with Nike because he felt like he should have some equity, which is
ownership.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? They did not want to give that to him because that's what corporations do. It's the last thing they want to give to people.
Which is wild. Like, you think about this shit. Like, a business puts that you basically support and that sells your product.
Yeah.
Don't want you to own your product that they sell.
Right. They're like, nope.
Nah, you good.
You can have a car.
We can use your name.
Yes.
We'll give you a watch.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
And and even to take that a step further with using your name, Tiger Woods, Nike owns his name.
Yeah.
He can't start any businesses using the word Tiger
Woods
or Tiger Woods in them because Nike, when he did the deal with them, he forfeited that.
Okay.
Crazy, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's the money, man.
Yeah, but it's the standard in the shoe industry and apparel and any of these spaces where you see these artists, the music industry blowing up super big. The reason they can blow up so big is because they have these giant entities behind them.
And they've sacrificed so much.
Yeah. And the main thing is ownership. And so Kanye, when he got to his second deal, he had learned the game by now. He's like, okay, wait a minute.
Hold up. Slow down for a second.
This man was negative 20, 30 mil in the game. He still didn't take the bum deal that Nike offered him, which says a lot. He said, nope, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave Nike. Everybody said he was crazy. Yep. Reebok is struggling. Or is it Adidas? Adidas was struggling. He says, okay, let me see what they're talking about. He does a partnership with Adidas, which offers him equity.
Partnership.
Because they need him as much as he needs them.
Facts.
And he knows this. He gets the deal he wants. Within 3 years, Kanye is a billionaire, not a millionaire.
Right, from shoes.
Right. He was 20 million in the hole before the deal. The man was broke. He was a Mark Zuckerberg. Right. Steve Jobs.
Yeah, right. Help me out.
Yeah. Jeff Bezos, can y'all throw me some money? Invest in me. Because he was broke. Y'all remember this. He not saying that no more.
Right.
He ain't asking Jeff Bezos for shit.
No, he ain't asking nobody for shit.
Right.
He Moses.
He's a billionaire. He Moses. He did it. And the question is, how did he do it? He did it through ownership. This is a conversation.
And not his music.
See?
Not owning his music. That's the crazy shit.
Yeah. Just because he created so much value in the shoe brand that he's now worth billions, man.
Yeah.
In a few years. That's the difference between chasing fame and chasing ownership. Kanye was able to say, okay, well, I'm going to try this ownership thing over here. And now that he's seeing the difference, now he's starting a conversation, a public conversation that a lot of people don't get. But it's very important. I don't care. You ain't got to be on a major label to understand the importance of ownership and the difference that makes.
Yes.
We are independent artists. We talked off air. Illogic has a situation with an album that he did with someone else. And he wants to get that record back.
Yeah.
It's not being made easy for him.
Right.
For no real reason. The record, it's not like it makes them any money. It's not like...
It's not making me no money, really.
Right, because you won't promote it because it's not yours.
And they're not promoting it because it's old news.
Yeah. And so even in a situation where both parties might be served to give you back rights to this, they're like, nope. And this is an independent label.
Yeah, this is independent.
And people don't understand how important that is, but this is something we got to talk about today. And so we want to come back. I'm going to take, now that we know what Kanye has done, we're going to take a break and we're going to come back and we're going to talk about why people choose fame.
Yeah. Why
do people choose that? Then we're going to talk about why people choose, ownership, and then we'll wrap this thing up.
Word.
Take a break and we'll be right back. For the last year, I've been telling y'all, new book coming soon. The new book is coming soon. The new book is coming soon. Proud to let y'all know the new book is finally here. It's pre-ordering right now on waitlist.net. The new book is titled The 10 Traits of Successful Hip Hop Artists, and it will be out officially on Tuesday, October 13th.
In the book, I use interviews, album lyrics, anecdotes, and everything else I could get my hands on to reveal 10 traits that have defined the success of some of the dopest hip-hop artists of all time. From Jay Dilla to Rock Marciano to Murs to Mr. Dibbs to 50 Cent to the RZA, Slug from Atmosphere, Evidence, Tech Nine, De La Soul, and many, many, many more. If you rock with me, I need you to go to waitlist.net right now and pre-order your copy. Talk to y'all soon. Peace.
All right, hit me with the beatbox, son. All right. And now a word from our sponsor, MyBookie. Okay, winning season returns at MyBookie. Winning season means doubling your first deposit. Winning season means Survivor, Super Contest, and Squares at MyBookie. Winning season means hitting all your parlays and props with your feet up, watching your team trounce their rivals. Rejoice! It's time to celebrate the NFL season with good reason. Invest in your intuition. Use promo GO TOUGH and double up on your first deposit. New players get like $1,000 in free play, designed to add more excitement to the sports you know and love and the games you bet. Best bet. From live betting to championship futures, every play you want to make is waiting at MyBookie. So don't be a rookie. It's simple. Make your picks, win big, then collect your cash. Use promo code TOUGH, double your stash on your first deposit. Winning season begins today, only at MyBookie. MyBookie. Right. All right. Fame versus ownership.
Word.
The conundrum.
It's hard. It's a hard one.
Yeah.
It's a hard one. Like when you're young.
Yep.
And you don't know. You're just like, I just want the money.
Yeah.
I just want people to know my name. You know what I'm saying? I just want to do, and it's easier.
Yes.
Fame is easier.
Yeah, it is.
It's so much easier, dog.
It is.
Dog, I mean, like in the last couple years, I'm really realizing that me just wanting to rap, I understand it now. Back in the day when I made that choice, yeah, I just want to rap, man.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
I remember those days.
Yeah, those days ain't coming back.
Nah, man, those days is gone, long gone. But I don't want them to come back, though.
Yeah.
Now that I got a taste.
Because you tasted the ownership shit.
Yeah, I tasted it. It's hard.
Yeah.
But the benefits.
Right.
And the long-term, feeling of it. And all it outweighs just the fame. Fuck the fame.
Exactly.
Fame is a flash in the pan.
Comes and goes. Comes and goes, and that kind of hints to what Kanye was talking about. I said, the Phil Knight guy, you can't even find a picture of him.
Right.
Whereas Michael Jordan is everywhere as an icon, but 40 times his net worth. And his point was that, the people who own the shit, you don't even see them.
Yeah, you don't even know what they look like.
You don't know who the fuck.
A lot of times you don't even know their names.
Nope. You walk right past them on the street.
Yeah. Millionaire.
And they don't want to be seen or known.
They don't want to be known.
And so we want to talk about like why artists choose fame over ownership. And we can go in on this topic because we are artists who have been on labels in each capacity, simply artists in one capacity, then owners in other capacities. And so the first reason that people choose, and this is kind of the big three that I like to talk about, why artists choose fame over ownership, is the money, the network, and the platform.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the money first. Advances.
Come on.
Fools is broke.
Yeah.
Like the average artist, by the time they get to the table with a label, they ain't got no fucking money.
They ain't got nothing.
They got maybe a manager is giving them some money.
Maybe.
Most of them have not released music independently successfully. So it's not like they're walking into these meetings like,
they're just good.
Yeah, I don't need y'all.
Right.
But I hear y'all out.
Right.
They're not, they need the money. And so when you say, well, because I see a lot of discussions on Twitter, and the first thing some people say when they talk about an artist like Kanye or any artist that signs a label deal is like, y'all shouldn't have signed it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got people who work bullshit jobs that they hate for no money. Looking down on people for signing
$1 million deals.
Who don't have ownership.
Right.
We all make trade-offs in life, right? And most of these artists are not coming from situations where they have money. And so that right there puts them at a disadvantage, because you're thinking, okay, all I gotta do is create this thing, I give it to y'all, and I just get a check every month or two.
Yeah.
Which is more than I'm seeing now.
Yeah.
And I get a big check just for giving you this thing.
And people will know my name.
Yeah, I'll be a household name.
What?
What's the downside again?
Yeah, what's the problem with this? It's the same with sports.
Yeah.
It's the same with sports. All I gotta do is play basketball.
Yeah.
I just gotta shoot a ball into a hoop.
Yep.
Get dope shoes every game.
Yep. Chicks love me.
Chicks love me. And y'all pay me.
Barely go to class if I went to class in college. I mean, the whole NCAA operates off that.
Oh, come on, bro.
You play in the NCAA for 1 year to boost your draft profile.
Yep.
That's the trade-off.
That's it.
Because after that, they gonna put you on video games. They gonna sell your jerseys, your number. You know, they get to exploit your likeness into perpetuity.
Yep.
And because you played there 1 year, it sucks.
Yeah.
But that's the game. Because it's harder to market yourself as a top draft choice without playing in college.
Yeah.
You know, people are starting to figure it out, but that's a new conversation. And so, you know, you got the money, and then let's talk about the network. No one's network. These are major media conglomerates.
You have access to anything you want, good or bad.
Yes.
You have access to anything.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a moment in the book where I write about Rock Marciano when he was signed to Flip Mode.
Oh yeah, when he got
dropped.
Yeah, and nobody picked up.
No, nobody's fucking with him no more.
Nobody picked up that phone.
Yeah, he said it got rough, man. He thought all the people who was rocking with him when he had his deal.
When he was with Buster, yeah.
Yeah, he said when he left that deal, his phone was dead.
Like he didn't exist no more.
All his joints turned off. You know, so that's really what happens when you're unplugged from that. There are so many people who are willing to help you, willing to work with you, high level people, highly skilled people. And that network to many people is worth, you know, sacrificing ownership. We'll say, you know what, you can have this record or these 5 records or these 7 records, because if I'm plugged into that,
I can make this work.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll get more money.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can parlay it, right? And so that thing is a big reason. And then the other of the big 3 is just platform.
Yeah.
I mean, just think about what we do every day with social media.
Yeah.
Nobody want to do that. Nobody want to sit there and come up with creative posts. Nobody want to sit there and record and edit a podcast every week or do a live stream every week, every Friday, even when they don't feel like it.
Yeah.
That's platform. We're building our platform. Nobody want to pay for web hosting. Nobody want to pay for plugins and shipping and boxes and do their own mail order. And people don't want to do that because they know that when you sign up to this big ass label, this big ass machine, you ain't got to think about that. Nah. LeBron don't send out his own jerseys.
Come on now.
You don't got to worry about him going out of stock.
Right.
He just show up at games and people got him on.
Right.
You know, like in the same way, Kanye never worried about his video getting views. He never worried about getting radio play for singles.
Yeah, who gonna interview me?
Yeah, he never worried about lining that up. What's their interest? Kanye, he blew up to the point where that shit just happened.
Right. Just show up. People love you.
You turning down interviews.
Yeah.
He reached the point where he only do 1 or 2 interviews a year.
Because he only has to.
Yeah.
He don't even have to do those. He Kanye.
Right.
Who in the world don't know who Kanye is?
And he's known by one name.
Yeah.
This one you know you made.
Yeah, Madonna.
Prince. Kanye. Sade.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
He's made it.
Yeah.
There's a trade-off of that. Kanye sacrificed ownership for platform. I mean, he sees it now because he's not as active releasing music as he is with the fashion thing, you know. But those are the 3 things, the top 3. And then the other I want to talk about, there's a couple more, is that, you know, mass appeal. Now, for the kind of music you and I do, we not tripping on no major label deal. If we got it, we probably wouldn't sell no records.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Ain't nobody fucking with us like that.
This underground shit ain't selling like that.
Yeah.
Every now and again, we'll write some shit that can...
Yeah, it'll pop.
Maybe
a song.
A song.
Yeah, not the album. A song.
No. We're not making pop music.
Right.
We're not making music that everyone can relate to, even the lowest, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
common denominator. Nah, we're just making some heady, intellectual, cool shit that's positive. And that shit is not really present in mainstream music.
Right.
But artists who believe that they're making something that can have mass appeal, they're gonna trade in ownership for fame every time. They're like, fuck it, all I need is one hit.
Yeah. And I'll come back for the rest.
Yeah.
A lot of them don't understand that they don't understand the extent of the trade-off.
Yes.
You know, they don't understand that this could be possibly for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
They don't think about it in those terms.
And your children's lives.
Yeah, and your
children's.
Yeah, like for the rest of the generations.
Yes.
This is generational. Like, yeah, it's people don't think about it in those terms in the long term.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. And then, the other one that we talked about is less responsibility.
It's easy, man. Just gotta write songs. Show up to the shows.
Yeah, Illogic used to be living that up.
Hey, come on, bro.
He show up. Hey, the record done? Cool.
Yep.
Drop his verses, dip.
Yeah.
6 months, 9 months later.
Yep. Album done. Artwork done. Everything done.
Yep. Sent stores.
Yep.
Vinyls in his hand. Oh, I got some vinyl for this one. This is fire.
Yeah. I remember those days.
Reviews is showing up.
Yep. Everything.
Hey, you got an interview with such and such today. Illogic.
word.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Call this guy at this time.
Oh, you got to do this photo shoot for the interview. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I'll
show up at this time.
Yep.
As if they already been paid for. Don't worry. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like that was the thing.
Yeah.
Now our situation was different because we were true independent label.
Right,
like,
right.
We weren't sitting there like we gonna hold your records for perpetuity because
Right.
this shit, which is very rare. Very rare, as Kanye is finding out. Just because you've recouped, just because you can afford to buy your catalog, doesn't mean they're gonna sell it to you.
Right. Just because you can afford to buy it doesn't mean because it's worth more to them in perpetuity.
Yeah.
Than really what you can offer them. You're
Yeah.
Kanye West.
Yeah. Your billionaire can't buy his catalog.
Nah, that's crazy. Because his catalog is worth billions.
Right. And
Billions.
they're
and
not
they
gonna
know
say
it.
that.
They know it.
Yep.
Kanye's record's gonna be selling for the next 50 years.
Yes.
Like they know this.
Yep. Yeah. And then, the last thing is kind of what you alluded to earlier. People choose fame over ownership because they just want to be an artist. Man. Like, just to be honest, all of us just want to be artists.
I just want to write the raps, man.
I wish I could just wake up and just do music all day like I used to.
Write raps, make beats, record, send it away. Next album.
Check show up.
Right, check show.
Like magic.
Yeah. Yeah. Straight up.
Oh, let me deposit this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know.
Let me write another. I'm feeling inspired.
Yeah. The good old days.
Good old days.
When you work, when you're inspired.
Right.
Shit has changed so much. You work now because shit need to be done.
Right. I
And
gotta
if-
write this verse.
If you don't do it, it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's like, look, if I don't do something, ain't no checks coming. And but most artists, man, we're artists. We're artists, and this is why the industry has been successful so long and to the degree that it is, because psychologically, most artists are wired to just be artists.
Yes.
There are some artists who are capable business people and they want to do it, but overall, most artists just want to show up, focus on their art, and let everything else get handled.
Yep.
They technically don't even want to be on social media. They want to be kicking it, partying, looking for inspiration, traveling, playing shows, doing all the good fun parts. And you can do that if you sign away your ownership. But once you own everything, your responsibility, it don't allow you to just be artist no more.
Yeah, and then you have those rare ones like James Brown.
Yep.
Like Ray.
Yep.
Like Ray Charles that come in the game like, you not taking my shit.
Yes. They knew the game.
They knew the game already because they had seen other people get taken advantage of, and they like, oh, I know what my shit is worth.
Yes.
I know what I'm worth. So I'm gonna come in and let you know that I know what I'm worth.
Yeah.
And if you want to fuck with me, this is the deal that I want.
Yeah.
If you don't give it to me, you can't have.
Yep.
Like that's crazy. Like some of those early deals by those people, legendary shit in the music industry.
Yep.
And wish more people would have took that, use that as examples.
Yeah, I agree. And so let's talk about the drawbacks of choosing fame, because there are some, and this is what this whole conversation is about. And Kanye chose fame early in his career. And one of the drawbacks is that you're going to get some unequitable deals.
Yeah.
You're going to get some deals that don't allow you to recoup, where the math gets real funny on you. You know, your statements is going to be sporadic. You know, you don't know what you owe. They're going to cross collateralize. You know, that's an industry term. Cross collateralization just means taking your losses from one thing and applying it to everything.
Yeah, because they hired your lawyer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they know. It's the setup.
Yeah, they hired your lawyer.
Good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, good cop, bad. They hired the lawyer that you using to look over your contract that they wrote.
He done mad deals for them.
Mad deals. He already know what it is.
Oh, you the lawyer? We got a guy. Yeah, hit up my guy. You know.
Yeah.
And so your deals are not going to be equitable. And what fools a lot of artists is the big advance. They don't got no problem giving you $1 million advance or $100,000 advance if they know they're going to be making tens of millions. You know what I'm saying?
Forever.
Hundreds of millions forever off of your catalog. That's a worthwhile investment. You know what I'm saying? Like if I told you, if you give me $10, I'm going to give you back $20. You'd be like, that's a good deal. But if I told you I was going to make $1,000 off your $10, you'd be like, whoa.
Hold up. Whoa. How can I get in on that?
Right. What's up with that?
Let me get part of that. You know,
this don't sound so good.
That 20
20 was cool with it, you know.
Right.
But you got 1,000.
Yeah, you making a G off the 10. You 10 times?
Yeah.
Making 10 times. No,
what the fuck?
Yeah.
And so it's like, this is the deal that a lot of artists have signed up for. And they didn't know it until they were knee deep in it. You know, you have artists with deals that don't expire. They can never meet their amount of required contracts because the label won't release a contract. So they just have to keep turning in albums behind the scenes. Then they won't release their budget because they don't have a single that the label gets behind. So you have these artists who end up in limbo in these deals they can't get out of, making no money. Besides the big advance they got. And then if they're successful, they still are in a shitty deal because they didn't have any leverage going into the first deal.
Yeah. I mean, look at Lupe.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He had that situation. But look at what Frank Ocean did.
Yeah.
Frank Ocean was smart.
Got out.
He got out.
Bought himself out.
Yeah, he bought himself out with an album.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, I'm going to do 2 records to get out of my deal.
Yeah.
And then right after that, I'm going to release a record on my own label. I'm going to use these as promotional items for my own shit.
Yep.
That was smart.
Very smart. Very smart. But most artists aren't thinking about that because they're thinking about, how can I be playing stadiums? If I'm going to be on a major, I want to be as big as the biggest artist on this major. And so you end up with these unequitable deals.
Yeah.
The second drawback of choosing fame is lack of ownership. We've been talking about it. No one is going to give you that much fucking money if they don't have the incentive on the back end, right? So they're gonna say, of course we'll give you $100,000 advance. Illogic, cool. You geeked. You got that 100,000. You know, let's do 5 albums. You know, and you're like, oh yeah, that's cool. You know,
that's easy.
It's easy.
5 records, word.
This 100 will hold me over until my second album come out.
Yeah.
Little do you know, they're making $100 million off of you every album, billions in licensing, you know, deals and sync deals and movies and merchandising. You're just like, whoa.
And then that pressure comes because you got to make hits. It's not just about the art anymore.
Yep.
It's about the business of the art.
Thank you.
If you ain't making hits, then an album can take you 5 years.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? If you're not making something that they deem good enough to invest their money into, it's not just about, yo, I'm just going to write these raps over these beats, have my boy mix it and master it, and I'm going to put it out. It ain't like that no more.
No.
You got to make hits.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a different story.
And what you're touching on brings on to the next one, which is the lack of control. You don't control when your shit comes out when you sacrifice ownership. You don't control what your single is, as we talked about with the Lupe shit, with them remixing damn near his whole album, putting it together themselves. You don't control really anything. You're just the talent, and the talent don't get to say, it's time for y'all to give me my masters back. It's time for y'all to let me do this. It's time for y'all to let me explore. Nah, you the talent, bruh. We already got this 20-page contract that's bulletproof, and we're $1 billion conglomerate to where it don't matter You can't take us to court and win.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So even if you got a case.
Even if you got a case.
Even if you got a case. Yeah. You got enough money?
Yeah, to go through the process. And most artists don't. So the lack of control shows up when you see these artists who are just, they either change up and become whack, do something that ain't them. They get trapped in limbo and they don't drop because they couldn't make a single that the label deemed financially viable to release more money to start the campaign. It's an ugly situation. You don't have no control. And that's what you're seeing when you see Kanye flipping like this. That's what he sacrificed 15, 20 years ago. Yeah. When he signed that first deal, he was like, hey, I just want to be on. I just want to be a star. And he became a star. But what we're seeing is that he traded, ownership for fame.
Yeah.
And so we'll take a break and we'll be right back.
Right.
What's up, everybody? Here to let y'all know we got a brand new 7-inch available on the weightless.net web store right now. The name of the record is Let Us Pray, and it's by the Thermites out of Reno, Nevada, featuring myself, Blueprint on a Rhymes. As you can see, we're dealing with some beautiful clear vinyl right here. The A side of the record is the vocal version. The B side of the record is the instrumental version. And just so you know, there's only 500 copies of this record, and I've only been given 50 to sell total. That means that if you want one of these records, you better act fast. This is the Let Us Pray 7-inch, available exclusively at weightless.net. Get yours before they run out. Peace.
To us, but to them, it's really small. I guess we still need faith like Biggie Smalls. Enjoy the quiet and meditate. Silence the mind, thinking of a better day. Let go of yesterday. Give thanks to the sun for another day. Let us pray.
All right, folks. This week's episode is brought to you by the good people at
MyBookie.
You dang Skippy. Okay, what does MyBookie do?
What?
Winning season.
Word.
It's here, bruh.
It's here.
Winning season returns at MyBookie.
Uh-huh.
Winning season means doubling y'all your first deposit.
What? Double that up.
Come on, holla at me. Winning season means Survivor.
Huh?
Super contest.
What?
Squares.
Oh, yeah.
At MyBookie.
Uh-huh.
Winning season means hitting all your parlays.
Hit them joints, bro.
Not some of them.
All of them.
Your parlays.
All of them.
And props.
Uh-huh.
With your feet up now.
Relaxing.
Not working hard.
Relaxing.
Watching your team trounce their rivals.
Yes, sir.
Rejoice, y'all.
Yeah.
Celebrate.
Yeah.
Get it in.
Yep.
Have some fun.
Yep.
It's time to celebrate.
Yes, sir.
The NFL season. Investing intuition.
Okay.
That means listen to what your brain is telling you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That little voice inside your
that
head.
little voice.
Listen to that joint. You know what I'm saying? Use promo code TOUGH.
TOUGH.
And double your first deposit.
Double up.
New players get up to $1,000 in
That's
free
a G.
play. That's a lot of bread.
That's a G.
I could use a G. Designed to add more excitement. I mean, what's more exciting than a G? I mean,
Right.
that's pretty dang exciting.
Getting a G in your pocket.
Yeah, let's go. Okay. It adds more excitement to the sports you love and the games you bet.
Okay.
From live betting
Live.
to championship futures.
Okay.
Every play you want to make is waiting at MyBookie.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, it's that simple, bruh. Make your picks. Win big. Collect your cash.
Get that bag.
Oh, come on, y'all. Use promo code TOUGH.
And double your first deposit?
I'm going to say that again. Use promo code TOUGH.
Say it again for the people in the back.
Use promo code TOUGH. And double your first deposit. Your winning season begins today. Only at
MyBookie.
MyBookie. Let's go. Okay, for real this time. We're back. Super duty tough work. Blueprint and Illogic. And yeah, we're here talking about fame versus ownership.
Is the Jay-Z stuff true?
What Jay-Z said?
That he sold the rights to 6 Kanye records to get his own masters back?
I don't know that. I didn't even hear that.
Oh, you didn't?
Nah.
Yeah, it's like a meme that's floating around. It's Kanye tweets.
Yeah.
And it says that Jay did that.
Wow.
And I don't know if it's true or not. I'm hoping not.
Yeah, that'd be some real stuff.
I'm hoping not, man.
Man, you know Hov, man. You can't trust
I know
Hov.
exactly. That's
You can't trust
Jay-Z
Hov.
is like he's one of my favorite rappers.
Could you put it past him though?
No, that's what hurts. That's what hurts.
Yeah, we'll be looking for more developments on that. If that's true, that was real shiesty.
Man, it hurts.
Yeah,
it hurts.
It wouldn't surprise me, man.
It wouldn't surprise me either, but it's fucked up.
So yeah, this is the last part of the discussion. You know, so we want to talk about like ownership, and there are artists who do this shit correctly. And Nipsey Hussle is an artist who we talked about before on this podcast, and I want to talk about him in terms of choosing ownership over fame, because Nipsey is a guy who kind of went through the whole gambit with it, right? And I write about him in my book. And those of you will be seeing it soon, but let's talk about Nipsey. Was an artist who put out a mixtape, got signed to a major, and then he was in limbo on a major. He had recorded his record, but he didn't have a release date, and the leadership at the label had kind of changed. The people who signed him were no longer there, and so he wasn't gonna drop no time soon.
He wasn't priority anymore.
Wasn't priority. So the label, they were backing his mixtapes, you know what I'm saying, which they helped him do, but the album wasn't gonna drop. So what he did was he said, okay, how can I get out of this deal? So he basically went to the label and was like, hey, yo, can y'all just let me out? I know I'm not coming out. Y'all know I'm not coming out. You know, just let me go back and start again. And so they let him out of his deal, and then after whatever 7 to 10 years, he was given rights back to the music he gave them, because they were like, fuck it, you know, he hadn't sold any records yet,
right?
So it was easy for them to let him go and give him back ownership. And he knew that he eventually wanted to get back to that point, but he wanted to have a better experience. So everything that you saw Nipsey Hussle do for the 10 years after that, which I think was like 2006, 2016 or something like that, that was all stuff he was doing independently as an owner of his label, as an owner of his brand. He did all these things to build up his name, started the store, started the clothing line, built a direct connection with his fans, produced, paid for his own music videos, his own tours. He basically built it from the ground up in a way that the label kind of wasn't gonna do.
Right.
And he had already kind of failed in that system. So he's like, yo, I know what I need to do to build this up now. And I'm gonna prove that I don't need them, but eventually I'm gonna make them come to me.
Yeah, exactly.
And what Nipsey Hussle did, and I talk about this in the book, is that he basically he built it up to the point to where he had to turn down several deals because he knew that they weren't what he wanted, which was ownership.
Right.
He could get a deal as soon as he started popping independently, but he wanted a deal where it was more of a partnership and not like an employee type of situation,
right?
Which is what all the other artists got,
right?
You know, they're basically like, his thing is like, his label is in a partnership with the major label, as opposed to he is an artist signed directly to the major label.
Yeah.
The labels have a deal, have a partnership in place. That's the difference between his deal and what Nipsey was able to do. Was he was able to use all that equity he built up on his own, all the sales, all the shit he did on his own to negotiate the deal that allowed him to have ownership and be in some 50-50 shit and still have rights to his music, which is completely different than what Kanye has.
Yeah, when you look at a lot of these artists that end up independent and successful, most of them have to go through that system to learn that that's not what I want.
Yes.
Or they're not going to treat me how I deserve to be treated. Or it's just like, okay, they don't believe in me. I'm doing this out of necessity now.
Yeah.
Because I want to be an artist. I want to make music. So out of nobody else is going to put my shit out.
Thank you.
So why don't I put my own shit out? Why don't I put my money where my mouth is? Let me bet on myself and see what happens. Just like Rock Marciano, you know what I'm saying? Like he was on majors.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He had he was in that system and he got kind of kicked out of that system. And then it's like, okay, I still want to do this.
Yep.
I don't want to go back to the streets. I want to do this. So let me bet on myself and see what happens.
Yep.
And a lot of times those cats win when they do that.
Yep. And so, you know, it speaks to a different mentality, what you're saying as well. Like the mentality can't be, I need y'all to blow me up, right? It's got to be, I know I'm capable of doing this.
Right.
All I need is opportunity because I believe myself so much. I'm going to bet on myself, like literally put up my own cash and bet on myself that I can create something that's viable and successful without y'all. And so, you know, this part we want to talk about. So why do artists choose ownership over fame, which is what Nipsey chose? Nipsey could have stayed in a system and maybe eventually got something cracking if he gave him a single that was crazy enough.
Yeah.
But he chose ownership over fame. And the number one reason is creative control. When you own the shit, can't nobody tell you nothing.
Do whatever the fuck you want.
You can drop a record, not drop a record.
You can scream for 48 minutes.
Yeah, poetry.
Yeah, you do whatever.
Doesn't matter. You can put anybody you want on your record.
Yep.
You don't need permission. They don't need permission. You know, you can run any type of creative promotional campaign you want. Mm-hmm. The label don't have to co-sign.
Yep.
You can do any kind of tour you want. You can charge $100 for your album, like Nipsey did,
or $5.
or $5. Doesn't matter.
Right.
You can charge a 64 hoodie.
Yep.
And you get all the money. You have more creative control. And for artists who find creative control to be important, that's a selling point for them.
I mean, with the creative control portion, that's the artist part.
Yeah.
You get to really be an artist when you're independent.
Yes.
Like, if you feel like going to the left a little bit,
you can do it.
You can do it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to answer to nobody. And that's the fun part of having that creative control.
Yeah, because you own the shit. Like, you can't tell me that.
It might not be a smart move for your audience.
Right,
all
right.
the time.
Right. This is another
but you
episode.
can make that decision. You know, you got the choice for that.
Yeah, it's true. So the number 2 reason why artists choose ownership over fame is they know they have a niche audience, right? Mm-hmm. Like, every artist is not a pop artist.
Right.
Some artists know, like, you know what? I do this one thing really well. Mm-hmm. And I'm not seeing nobody over there doing that on this major label. So why am I kidding myself, acting as if I could be successful in that system when I just want to make this kind of stuff over here? And there's an audience for this stuff. I may never be a millionaire or huge, but I can be successful. I can do what I love and I can be happy with it, but I have to own it so that I can reach that audience. Right. Because this label is not, major labels are not set up for niche audiences.
No.
They're set up for mass audiences.
They're set up for the world.
Yeah.
They're not set up for Oklahoma.
Right.
You know?
Underground rap.
Right.
It's not the same.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? Lo-fi beats.
No.
Like, it's not the same.
Nah.
Those are small audiences which have good followings, but major labels are not set up to be so granular and so, you know what I'm saying, in their approach. The third reason, like you mentioned, is that they've been burned before.
Yeah.
So artists like Nipsey, artists like Rock Marciano, they knew, like, look, we've been in the system. We've been in limbo. We're not going back to that. Our time is limited. We know how to hustle. We know how to make dope shit. So why are we sitting around waiting on a major label? We've been burned. They ain't shit. Let me go over here and build up my own shit. And so you have artists who will choose ownership at that point. So look, I'm just going to own it. And I'm going to control it and be independent because I know that the alternative is not going to be profitable for me. Right. So that's number 3. Number 4 reason why artists choose ownership over fame is the margins.
You can't beat it.
Come on, bro.
Can't beat it.
Look, the reason why artists become rich on major labels is because they can scale up to where you sell a million records. And you might only be making $1 a record.
Yeah, but you made $1 million.
Thank you. It's easy, right? But a motherfucker who makes $8 a record ain't got to sell 1 million records to make $1 million.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the math that a lot of independent artists are drawn to, and that's the math that you only get when you own it. When you're an employee, you get paid like an employee.
Yeah, because you know when you own it, you know what the wholesale price is.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying. You know what that CD costs to make.
Yes,
so you it's a very different math.
Yeah, man, and that is what Kanye is looking at. Like, damn, this math is fucked up. I'm a billionaire. I can't even buy this back because they feel like, nah. Yeah, we own this forever. There's no reason to get this back to you. Yeah. We're playing a long game. Our kids is gonna be eating off Kanye West. You know what I'm saying? And so, and independently, the margins are better. You don't have to sell as much to have a good career when you own it. And that's not even just music and anything. Yeah, anything you own, you're gonna have a more equitable deal.
Facts.
Number 5 is if you've got a strong team. Now with Nipsey, the reason Nipsey could go with the ownership route over the major label route and choose it's because he had a team, him and his brother. He had a whole story. He had an apparatus that he built of guys. He was employing people, you know, and when you got that kind of team and organization around you who works just for your success, all of a sudden you're not looking at the major with rose colored That's like, oh yeah, you're not falling in love
because
with that.
you are the major.
Yeah.
Like a major label, basically the artists work to make the label, put the label in a place where it is. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people think, no, the label works for the artist. No, they don't.
No. You employee.
Yeah, you employee. And when you have employees, you can be the focus.
Yep.
That's a completely different level.
Yeah, man. And so when you got a team already, which is another reason why, on this podcast, we always say before you sign a deal and whatever you do or do a partnership, you should know how to do that thing yourself first. Because then you'll know the inner workings of it and you'll understand what you're getting yourself into. If you have a team that is acted to actively promote you, to actively support you, get you shows, get you opportunities, publicity, things of that nature, you're not sitting there thinking that your success is dependent upon a major, dependent upon giving away all your rights. And you're like, I just need to build a team. I got a dope videographer. I got the publicist. I got the, you know what I'm saying? I got this, I got that. You know that your success, every time you add a piece, you become more successful, make more money. And you don't need this giant thing that's going to blow you up, but it's going to take away all your rights forever. Yeah. And so the last reason that artists choose ownership over fame is like the Rock Marciano thing. You don't care about mass appeal.
Yeah, it's the niche. It's the 100 or 1,000 fans that you have.
Yeah.
You care about them and them only. And if other people hear it, so be it.
Yes.
But them 1,000, them 100, them 50, you know what I mean? That's what you care about.
Yep. And so, an artist like Kanye, that's what he wanted. He wanted to be the largest artist in hip hop, and he was.
Yes.
And so, but there's a trade-off. He owns nothing. And because he owns nothing, now that he has a lot of money from other ventures, he's like, this deal look kind of fucked up, but it is what it is.
How many albums was his deal?
See, I don't know. I didn't look at the contract.
Yeah, like that's what I'm interested to see how many albums he signed for.
But those a lot of those deals are structured to where you have a set amount of albums, but then you have options. Yeah. But it's up to the label's option.
Yeah, they get first right to refuse.
Yeah, and it's up to them whether they, you know what I'm saying, add another album. You see, like the NBA is like you have what's called player options.
Right.
So your contract is up 3 years plus one. You can say, do I want to take this 30 mil
or do I want to move on
and test the market?
Yeah.
You don't. It's in the music industry. It's not the player. It's the label option. They get to say, "Do we want to make you give us another record?"
Yeah, because we still making a couple mil off that last one.
Yeah,
you got to do another one.
Right.
Yeah, go and get back in the studio, boy.
Right. It's such a different game.
Yeah.
And those are the things that, look, love Kanye or hate Kanye. It's a discussion that needs to be had. And I think artists should be looking at it simply from that. Like, look, you don't got to listen to his music to understand that this is the bridge you're going to have to cross.
Right.
In everything you do. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's it for this week, man. I hope y'all found this discussion productive. If you're thinking about, which way to go with your career, depending on what kind of artist you are, I don't care what you do. You're going to eventually have to conquer the question and cross the bridge of, do I want to be famous or do I want to be in control and own my art?
Yeah.
And if you choose fame, you could become like a Kanye West. If you choose, control and ownership, you could become like a Nipsey Hussle, Tech Nine, Rock Marciano. There's a lot of success stories.
Yeah.
You won't have mass appeal. But if you're not wired for that anyway, then you might as well adopt the ownership mentality earlier.
Yeah,
true. I hope this episode has helped some of y'all. And we'll see y'all next week.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to Super Duty Tough Work. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. Follow the podcast on SoundCloud. Peace.
Shoot, I got styles already that's more complex that nobody know about. I mean, super duty tough work.